2 years ago, Bishop Beckwith came to Christ Church in Short Hills for his visitation. And he asked our vestry, "Who is your neighbor?" And he challenged us to redefine our own notions of neighbor to be, where is your heart? Where is your involvement? And as we decided to keep exploring that, the suggestion came that we would like to meet with some of the people at House of Prayer in Newark. 32 years ago, members of Christ Church were among the parishes that helped to start Apostles House right down the street from House of Prayer. And so it was, in a way, coming home and getting involved.
When I think about who is your neighbor, I remember a couple of years ago a workshop at the Diocesan Convention, and that was a question that was discussed. It's wonderful today to know that through our shared ministry project that we're doing and envisioning and discussing for the last 18 months, that's becoming a reality. We know who we think is our neighbor, but many times we don't act upon expressing that to our neighbor. We're all in ministry together, doing it different ways. But each of us bring the gifts to the table. And so it's nice to know that in this diocese, we're coming together with the churches in the suburban area and the urban area and the agencies in this area to spread the word, to share our gifts, to dream and vision together. And I'm just delighted to be a part of this new model of ministry, I call it.
The wardens from St. Paul's and from Christ Church formed a group that has been meeting every month for the last 18 months and has decided to focus on two initiatives. One on beginning a high school equivalency program, tutoring program for the neighborhood in Newark. And the second to do a health care program. People from Christ Church renovated a portion of Apostles House a summer ago, and along with the Rutgers Medical School, now has a house, what's called a house calls program to provide especially prenatal and health education ministry. Tommy Watkins, one of the seminarians, has his PhD in public health. And so in coordination with the medical school and Apostles House and House of Prayer, he helped to establish a monthly educational program that takes place at House of Prayer.
The shared ministries that with the Apostles House have certainly helped us to become more a part of the community. Prior to this, I think we've just been in the community, and working with Rutgers is a wonderful association for us and a wonderful start as we begin to partner and move forward in the Newark area and with our own ministry.
We don't have all the answers, and it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. We're going to have ups and downs. But the thing is, we're on this journey together. And as we sit around the table month after month, it's just wonderful, awesome to know that we're working together. I like all the different components of it, even the seminarians coming in to the church and sharing their gifts. Where they're learning, we're learning.
My role as a seminarian and Tommy Watkins' role as my partner, also seminarian from GTS, is to build those relationships and to cross those bridges, to build relationships between different parishes, between youth and other youth from different places, and to really build up the kingdom of God, so that we can tear down those misconceived and those impressions that we may have of others, and really begin to understand that we are all one, and that we each bring gifts to the table, And so it is a joy to be able to walk those bridges back and forth between different communities and building up the kingdom of God. And that's what we do at the Newark Shared Ministries.
And so these are all exciting things, because the network of our shared ministry, and that's what we're calling ourselves, the Newark Shared Ministries, just expands like ripples in a pond. And it's been energizing, I think, for each one of the groups involved. It expands our notion of ministry. It expands our notion of neighborhood. It expands the way we give of our own lives in connection with others.
It's like lifting up all of our gifts to spread the gospel. And I think that's what it's all about. Each of us helping each other. You have a resource, I have a resource. It's not about who has more or who has less. It's what do we have in this pot, this beautiful pot that becomes a bubbling soup.